The very first card is the Temperance, and the Temperance upside down. So right side up, it's like finding your balance, selectively doing the juggle, finding things that fit into places. Upside down, it does feel like you're a bit of pulled in different directions is what is coming into me. The red wings here are also lighting up as a bit of a frustration. It does look like there's maybe some loose ends that you weren't aware of that you have to tie up before you can either get into your new project or start on the new ideas. So it does look like this might have been a bit of a surprise that you didn't know these things were outstanding. It could be outstanding bills. It could be situations. But it does look like things are coming to an end and coming to a completion. But it does feel like the Temperance card, you're finding a little bit more balance or trying to find your balance. But it does feel like there's a couple of loose ends just hanging out there that you weren't aware of. Might have been a surprise that kind of threw you off balance a little bit. The cups are lighting up for me, so it may have to do with partnership. Something may be a little out of balance in partnership and that you're trying to get it back into balance. What crosses you is the Three of Cups. And cups, of course, can be love and emotions, but this is more, I'm feeling on the social aspect. So you may be being invited to a little bit more gatherings, barbecues, weddings, just some kind of joyous gathering. So it does feel like that will help you get back into balance if you maybe leave the have-tos for a day or so and enjoy yourself a little bit more out in the world. That will help the have-tos temper them a little bit so you can complete them. So this is the Three of Cups. So it's emotions, it's gatherings, it's getting together with people from your heart and having a good time. So it's time to have a little bit of a good time before the summer ends here on the Western Hemisphere. The Empress is what is above you. This is new ideas. This is nurturing something to completion. As I said, the Empress can mean pregnancy if that isn't in your flow. It could be pregnancy around you. It can be it can be an engagement as well, either for you or someone in your family. But the Empress shows up usually when some nurturing is involved, or if you've planted a new seed. It could be a new idea that has to do with work or a different way of making money. But this requires a little bit of attention, a little bit of nurturing on your part for this to actualize. So what is in your past is the Knight of Swords. And the Knight of Swords can be kind of charged right into a situation. Swords can dictate thinking, higher essence. But it also can depict maybe getting into a little bit of a staticky situation. Sometimes the knights rush in without looking. So you may have just extricated yourself or pulled yourself out of a situation that you kind of threw yourself into that really wasn't yours to fix. Kind of the fighting spirit. And I know Virgos, you guys are great humanitarians. So this might be something that you kind of rushed into without really taking a look at the effects of things. And it does feel like you're pulling out of a situation that isn't what it was presented as. There seems like a little bit of static involved here. I do see the orange lighting up, so it does feel like maybe there is some physical pull on you that you really need to continue to heal yourself. I know Virgos are healing themselves on a physical level. So maybe you need a little bit more time before you jump into this big project, or that the demands really aren't in your flow. So don't be afraid to speak your truth and think about all the ramifications. But it does look like it requires a little bit more thought before you jump in there. Or if you have already jumped into a situation that is kind of uncomfortable and a little staticky, it's okay to jump right back out and think about it. I know you like to serve, but it's okay to serve in other ways that are more comfortable for you. And the Page of Cups is down here. Now, the Page of Cups. Cups can be messages. This also can be children. But this feels more like it's on the love, marriage, engagement. It also means taking an emotional risk that plant the seeds of love. So you may have had an offer of love. You may have had a message about love, or have gifted someone with a message of your love and your connection. It can mean a deeper commitment to the one that you're with. It can mean taking, releasing a love that has not been working for you. So something is happening right about now, Virgo, where you're either deepening a commitment, getting a message of love or marriage or engagement, but something is in the works right now, sweet Virgo. So moving on into the future position, this is the Two of Pentacles, and this is, of course, trying to find your balance. This also, I'm feeling like you may be trying to appease too many people and forgetting your own balance. So it does feel like you're getting back to center, back to your own balance, releasing some of that anger, some of the frustration. And, if we try to solve other people's problems all the time, it doesn't give them a chance to learn how to solve it themselves. So it does feel like you're pulling some energy back and really creating a little bit more balance for yourself. It also feels like your money is coming a little bit more into focus, a little bit more into balance. So you may have reprioritized where it's going out and really checked out what the necessities are and what the desires are. So it does feel like money's coming into a little bit more balance, but there does feel the last month or so that there was a little shift and a drain on your finances that maybe you weren't ready for. So it does look like in August that will become a little clearer, come a little bit more in balance for your money. But it does feel like some of the frustrations and some of your efforts for other people have kind of brought you to a frustrating point. So it does look like you have successfully pulled back from some of those things that weren't serving you. If we try to help a friend over and over and over again and they're doing the same thing, it's really theirs to learn. It's not yours to fix. So you are getting a little clarity on what is yours and what is other people's and how to balance your finances in general. So this is the Five of Pentacles. You do have a couple of pentacles here, so it does look like you have been figuring out your money, maybe collecting some research. This feels more like a fear than an actuality, but it does feel like if you have continued on the way that you have been going, sweet Virgo, with allotting money here, there, and everywhere, it does feel like the long run is old, broken, and alone if you keep pouring the money out to things that really aren't yours to fix. So it does look like you're taking a real strong look at your finances for the long run, what that means to you. What that means to you and how that's going to look in your future. The future does look pretty bright here. Oh, Rebecca Wonder Dog says hello. But it does look like you've been looking at it honestly. If you keep going in the direction that you've been going, kind of the humanitarian, helping others on the financial realm. It doesn't feel like, helping others from your heart and within effort. That is not what we're talking about. We're talking about money. So it does look like you're getting your finances in order a little bit, figuring out, prioritizing, so you don't hit this old, broken, alone. And that is the basis of here. It is a fear card. And 5 can be very challenging. 5s usually are very challenging. So it looks like you are really taking a step into making you a priority and figuring out what works for you and what doesn't. The Star card here, that can be new ideas. It also can be pouring out of yourself to others. So make sure that you gift yourself just as much energy as you're gifting others. It is a higher arcana card. So it does feel like you are on the path of part of your greatness, that you are actually embracing one of your skills and either furthering it, possibly to make some money by doing what your passion is, but it does look like it requires some extra attention outside of work. This does feel like it's outside of the traditional job. But these are great ideas. It's feeling like great ideas are coming down and you're incorporating them in or manifesting them into the physical realm, and gifting yourself and gifting others. But it does look like you're coming together with an idea that you've had for many, many years and kind of putting it out there in the world and see how it comes back. It does require a little bit of effort, and it does. The honesty is just keep coming through that. Check all contracts, dot your I's, cross your T's, check out all agreements and make sure that it works for you. But I'm feeling like you may have to peel the mask of honesty, that someone may be presenting something to you that it's too good to be true, and it may just be too good to be true. So check out all angles. Don't just trust blindly before you sign any contracts or you make any agreements for the future. The Queen of Wands is here, and she's a noble being. She invokes action. This is feeling like it is a person, so that is a fire sign, Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius woman. This does feel like it is a reconnection with this person from the past. This karmic sign above her head is lighting up, and I'm feeling that you will you have either righted a wrong or there's been some apologies, but there is a reconnection from someone from the past. It does feel like a family member, sister, mother, grandmother, daughter, even ex-wife. Something like that. But it does look like you've come to some understanding and some healing with this beautiful fire queen. She also can propel things very quickly into the future, has great ideas. So don't be afraid to ask for help or some interaction if you're stymied a little bit and you need a little push or a little ideas from a different perspective. The 10 of Wands is here, and that can be, lessening your burden. This is a 10, so it is the end of a cycle, and it does feel like you've been cleaning out the spiritual closets, or you have been taking the spiritual trash out for a while. It does feel like there is a number of things that you are finishing up on. So this does look like a month of completing things and clearing the path for all those great new ideas. So this is a completion month, and this is the 10. So some things you may be hesitant to let go of. It may be anything from a relationship to a job to a home, but it's something that hasn't been working for you for quite a while. You've been looking at changing the dynamics. So you're at the final step of speaking your truth and releasing responsibilities that no longer serve you. And healing yourself. It does look like this was brought on possibly by a physical need. So you may have had an illness that dictated you drop all these responsibilities, which, there's nothing like an illness to make us look at ourselves and realize what we really are unable to do and how much we've been gifting out to others instead of really healing ourselves. So it looks like the final piece of the puzzle to continue your self-healing is to really let go of some of these agreements, and many of them look like a family agreement that is out of whack for you, and it may have been a dying wish of somebody that you promised that is kind of out of balance, and it can be as simple of a small promise that you made many years ago that is out of balance. to a friend or something. But it does feel like it's time to really honestly look at what you are capable of doing, and what is not yours to do. It will lighten the load, and it does feel like these three things over here are solid agreements that kind of work for you, but there is a whole gaggle here of things that really don't work for you that you're taking a last final look at before you release them and gift them back to whomever they belong to. And a lot of people that we end up doing things for, whether it's our children, our parents, our friends, once we pull our energy back, all of a sudden they figure out how to do it. And they have had the ability to do this all along. So have faith in their journey as well as yours, sweet Virgo. On the left side of this is the devil. If you continue, the devil is kind of a tease, kind of a challenge sometimes. Sometimes it shows up for those that are in recovery, whether it's alcohol or drugs. It can show up for our codependency in others. So if we have made a conscious decision to change something, the devil kind of comes in there and goes, are you sure? Are you sure this is the way you've done it all along? Why don't you give it a whirl again? It's just kind of a test to bring to your awareness that this really doesn't work, and you are quite capable of walking back into this troublesome situation. So it's just a test to kind of propel you into your greatness, into your future. So to see if you can pass that test. I know a lot of folks in sobriety have this test coming up quite often, but it can be, our exes coming into our space. Wanting codependency, and you've already changed that game. So it is just kind of a little reminder of the past, of things that you've changed, and to continue changing is just a test. It is just a test. So the King of Cups is here. It's on the right side. The King is a noble person. He can stand for love. He can stand for a water sign. That's Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. So you may be getting some assistance from a beautiful king with some wisdom to propel you into your greatness. But this does feel like somebody that is on your side, that is kind of in there fighting the good fight for you, and kind of as holding you up a bit. You hold people up most of your life, Virgo, so it's okay to accept and receive help. It does look like it's an unconditional sort of love, and it is an encouragement for you to follow your dreams if you need to switch some things. It may even be someone in the family that sees the dynamics that you are changing and is encouraging you. But don't be afraid to accept that help. It can be a partner, a water sign partner, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, or just a friend. But it does look like somebody that's giving you a leg up, kind of encouraging you. Can be a new business partner, but it does look like he has integrity and has, the higher levels. He's embracing the higher levels of life, and it's okay to receive. Virgo, I know you like to gift. So that is a general reading, Virgo, for the month of August. I'm going to throw a couple of these new cards, and I was just gifted these. These are Angels in Abundance card, and I really like the back of them. They do have some words on them, so I will read them since it's the first time I'm using them. Okay, Virgo, we have let go of guilt. Okay, that kind of just brings it on home if you're making those changes for you. But it does look like guilt does not serve you in any situation. It just holds you back from your greatness and creating your wonderful gifts and the life that you really want. So let's let go of let go of guilt, and we have organize for success. So this kind of just really validates what I'm saying here, what your spread is dictating, that it's really time to organize for you and not hold up so many different people in your life. So this one is let go of guilt. When you allow your light to shine brightly, you inspire others. Forgive yourself for what you think you've done or not done, and trust that God loves you unconditionally for who you are. Learn and grow from past mistakes instead of berating yourself from them. So let go of all that guilt, and you may have to change some of those agreements, as I said, that were really based in guilt. So there is no place for guilt in positive growth. It is the gift that keeps on giving, but it really has no place in our lives for positive growth. And organize for success is just what it is. See what you're going towards your future. Plan for the future. Don't let those fears get in your way of planning for the future and organizing. If you organize it, it will come, kind of thing. And this one says, do not let the word organize intimidate you, as it is simply a way for you to ensure clarity of purpose. Organizing your thoughts, your reports, your living and workspace, and your finances will help you know and plan your next action steps.